welcome to Live Interactive English, everyone. I am Mike.
And I'm Sam.
And today we are going to be doing a couple of dialogues, both today and tomorrow. We're going to have 2 today, 2 tomorrow, so that's 4 dialogues. And I did math there. Did you see that? Yay! I'm so good at math. I'm so happy and proud of myself for doing such good math, because when I was young, I was bad at math, and it made me angry and it made me sad. And we're doing these dialogues about expressing emotions.
Yes,
did you
yes.
see what
I was just
there?
going to say, you are having a lot of emotions
happy,
right now.
Joyful, sad, angry. Are you good at expressing emotions or talking and showing your feelings inside to the outside world, or do you keep it all in?
I feel like for me, since I grew up with 2 brothers, it was slightly less good to show some emotions. Because, you know, with brothers, it was just kind of like, hey, you're too happy. Why are you happy? I'm going to come over and tease you. Or like, oh, you're crying. Ha, ha, ha. So I feel like that made it so that I was kind of like, maybe I shouldn't always show my emotions. But I do think, now that I'm older, sharing your emotions and showing your emotions is much better for everybody.
And you can share your emotions. This is a safe place.
Oh, good.
Yes, be free to be who you are. Because yes, expressing your emotions is just, you know, showing the world how you feel. I mean, you can express your emotions too much, right? If you're talking about how great you are all the time and how proud you are of yourself, that might get a little tiring. But if you're sad, if you're upset about someone, with a friend, with a family member, someone who you feel close to and care about, it is fine and I think good and healthy to express your emotions rather than keep it all in and just, I'm fine, and do that kind of fake thing. It's good to express your emotions. So let's join a couple of friends as they have nice, healthy, emotional conversations about the good, the bad, the things that are going on in their lives, in their minds, and in their hearts. Toby excitedly tells Laura that he won a painting contest.
I won first place in the painting contest I told you about last week.
Wow, congratulations. It was the painting of the sun coming through the window, right?
Yes. I honestly never thought I'd win, but the judges really liked my painting.
I knew you could do it. It looked great even before it was finished. How long did it take you to complete it?
A month. I worked on it every night because I wanted it to be perfect.
Your effort paid off. What did you win?
I won a camera. It's really expensive, so I was lucky to win it.
All right, so yes, our dialogues are all about expressing emotions or talking and showing how you're feeling inside. And as we know, there are many different feelings that we can have, right? Some good, some bad, and some kind of in between. But they're all natural and we all have them, and it's good to know how to express them. One of the best feelings, of course, is feelings of happiness or joy or, you know, success. You've done something good happened to you, and you want to share that with your friends and family. That's what we're starting off with. Number 1, sharing good news. Yes. So something good has happened to me or to you, and we want to tell others about it.
Yes, and so in our case, we have 2 people, Toby and Laura. And Toby has something very exciting that happened. So it says, Toby excitedly tells Laura that he won a painting contest.
Wow, that's great.
Yeah, so he has some very good news that he would like to tell his friend Laura, and that is that he was painting a painting, he did a great job, and he won a contest. And a contest is just a competition that might have a prize at the end. So you would join a contest if you wanted to see how strong you were or how good at painting you are, or maybe your dog is in a contest or whatever, and then there will be usually a first place, a second place, a third place. There could be many, many more places, but there's usually some kind of prize or medal or something like that. So he just won a painting contest.
That's fantastic. And he wants to share it with Laura. So let's see how he does that. He says, I won first place in the painting contest. I told you about last week. So there you go. He already told her about it last week. He won first place and he is telling her this news because it's official. He is the winner of the contest. She knew about it. As it says, he told her last week. And of course, she is hopefully going to be very happy for him. Is she?
Yes.
Good.
And so she says, wow, congratulations.
Good.
So two very good reactions when you hear good news for your friend. Wow, great job. Congratulations. It was the painting of the sun coming through the window, right? So she's saying this sentence and saying like, she must have seen this painting. Maybe he had a few different paintings. Maybe he only had one, but she saw it. And so she's asking, it was that one that you painted of the sun, right? And so we're going to find out, was that the painting that made him win or not?
Yeah, it's nice that she remembers kind of the painting that he was working on. And yes, she says that great word, congratulations. That is a word you would say when something good happens to another person and you are expressing your happiness for their happiness. You're saying, well done. You're saying, I'm very happy for you. They're saying, you know, I feel the excitement that you feel. By saying congratulations, I am giving you my congratulations. I am saying, well done, you. I'm happy for you as well. You know, Cedric? Yeah, Cedric sent his congratulations to his sister.
Oh, that was
maybe
nice.
in a voice message, maybe in a text, something like that. So you can send them if you write them down, or you can express them or say them by speaking the words, well done, I'm happy for you, or more simply, congratulations. So let's get back to it. He did really well in that contest. He won the painting contest, and he says, yes, he's very excited. Yes, that's the one. That was the painting that he did, the one of the sun coming through the window. Yes, that's the one. I honestly never thought I'd win, but the judges really liked my painting. So he wasn't totally confident about doing well in the contest, so that's why he's probably a little bit more excited in this case. But the judges, as he says, the people who picked the winners, really liked that painting of the sun. I want to see the painting. It sounds lovely. All right, let's go over to Hanny. She's going to explain all this, and then we're going to be right back.
Hello， 大家好，我是 Hanny。这次绘画主题是 Expressing Emotions， 表达情绪。在第一段对话里 ，Toby 兴奋地跟 Laura 分享一个好消息，就是他赢得了绘画比赛。Laura 马上恭喜他，还问说是不是那一幅阳光透过窗户照进来的画。Toby 说对，就是那一幅。他没有想到会得奖，可是评审非常喜欢他的画。好，单字 contest 表示比赛，是名词。Congratulations 是指恭喜，它常常用复数型表达，所以你要恭喜别人就会说 congratulations。好，那我们接着回到课文中。
All right, so we are back. So Toby had just said, yes, that was the painting that won. He was super excited. He was a little bit unsure that he might have won or not. Well, then Laura says, I knew you could do it. It looked great even before it was finished. So again, she probably saw it when he was still working on it and it already looked wonderful. And she didn't even see the final version of it. And she still thought, yes, that's great. How long did it take you to complete it? Because again, a painting, especially a painting that's going to go on to win a painting contest, well, it probably took a long time.
So back to Toby, he says a month. It took him a month to finish it, so clearly he worked on it quite a long time. And actually, he says, I worked on it every night because I wanted it to be perfect. Yeah, working on it every night for a month because he wanted to make it the best painting he could. And clearly, that worked. Or as Laura says,
she says, your effort paid off, which is a great phrase to say, like, your hard work was noticed and it actually accomplished something. You worked hard on the painting. That shows and it paid off because you won the contest. And then she says, what did you win? So, okay, you won a contest. Well, what did you get? And we had this word effort in here, and effort is just the amount of energy or hard work that it takes to complete something. So here, he worked on it every night for a month. That was the effort that he put into his painting. And our example sentence says, it took a lot of effort to finish the project on time. They had to work overtime. They had to keep going and work really hard in order to make it so that the project was on time.
And so, yeah, what did he win for winning the contest? What was the prize? In other words, I won a camera, he says. Ooh, that's a fancy prize and probably useful for a painter, right? They like taking pictures. They like making pictures. The camera will make it easier. He says it's really expensive, so I was lucky to win it. So it's not just any old camera. It's a fancy camera. Costs a lot of money. He can use it. Maybe he can sell it and buy more paints. Who knows what? But it's a pretty good prize. So he's obviously excited about that too. And he's being humble. You know, he's not too proud of himself. He says, I was lucky to win it. And we're happy for Toby as well. Let's go over to Hanny. She's going to explain all this good stuff and then we'll come back.
Laura 知道 Toby 得奖的那一幅画，她说那一幅画就算还没有完成时，看起来就已经很棒了，所以其实她都还没有看过最终版，就已经非常赞赏那幅画了。Sam 老师在讲到最终版本时，用到 version 这个名词 ，version version 它表示版本或变化形式。那接着他们聊到 Toby 那幅画画了1个月，他的努力总算有了回报。比赛获胜得到的奖品是一台很贵的相机。好，那单字 effort 是名词，表示努力，而 pay off 当不及物用，可以表达获得回报、取得成功的意思。接话课文中。
All right, guys, that's the first dialogue. We've been expressing happiness. We heard all about Toby and his big success with his amazing painting. We're going to have another dialogue after our break, and this time, oh my gosh, everything is going wrong. I can't handle it. You're going to have to come back and find out all about that. Luke feels stressed due to his schedule. Zoe shares what helps her manage stress.
Are you okay, Luke? You look tired.
I have a lot of tests this week, but I still have club meetings every day. I feel like I don't have time to breathe.
That's a lot to deal with. I've felt the same way before.
How do you handle it? I can't even think properly.
I focused on one thing at a time. Try not to take on so many club activities for now.
I know you're right, but it's hard to say no. I'll have to remind myself to manage my time better.
I also wrote a to-do list. I started to feel a lot better when I saw all the things I had finished.
Did that really help?
Yes, it works. It'll take a lot of pressure off you.
Okay, so we are back and we are in a new emotion. We just got to have happy and joyful and everything was great because he won a contest. But now we are dealing with stress.
Yeah, stress is not a great emotion. This is feeling nervous, feeling under pressure, feeling like you have so much to do, but you don't have enough time, or you're doing something that you have to do, but you really don't like it, and it is interrupting your good mood. It is making your tummy do, funny things when you eat. It's making you have trouble sleeping, all that kind of stuff because you're under stress. You're very nervous. Things are not going great and there's no easy way out. So you just have to deal with it sometimes. So that's what we're talking about. Stress, the feeling of pressure, the feeling of nervous anxiety, and that kind of stuff. It says the stress of the exam caused Melanie to lose sleep. Taking exams, going for a job interview, having big changes in your life that you're not kind of happy and excited about, that can cause stress. So let's find out what's going on here. Luke feels stressed due to his schedule, too much to do and not enough time, for example. But his good friend Zoe is there to help out. Zoe shares what helps her manage stress. So yeah, sometimes talking about your emotions can just let them out, and that way you can feel better. Or you can let them out and someone can go, hey, I felt like that before. This is what I did. And that can be great because that can give you new skills to deal with stress like this in the future.
Yes, and so Zoe says, are you okay, Luke? You look tired. So again, she's a good friend. She notices that he's looking not so like himself these days. So are you okay? What's going on? You look super tired.
Yeah, you don't look like yourself. You don't look so good. Tell me all about it. And so he does. He says, I have a lot of tests this week. Okay, exam time at the end of the school year, a time of great stress for students all over the world for a long time. But I still have club meetings every day. I feel like I don't have time to breathe. Okay, so he's got a lot of work at school. None of it is really fun. All of it has to be done. And you just feel that you don't have the time. Or as he says, I don't have time to breathe. I hope this is not really what's happening.
Yes.
He's just sort of saying this as an idea.
He doesn't literally have no time to breathe because then, well, if you don't breathe, then you aren't getting oxygen and, well, you would die. So
Well, then he won't feel stress.
Well, so to breathe is just the verb or the action of getting the air into your lungs and out of your lungs. So breathe in and breathe out. That's all called breathing. So again, and sometimes when you're talking about this kind of situation where you're talking about stress and you're like, I need to breathe, of course, it could be literally like taking a breath, but it also can kind of just mean like, I need to settle myself down a little bit and I need to just calm down a second and take a breath and take a moment and kind of settle things down. So usually though, that is referring to actually breathing air in and out. And so our example sentence says, I needed a moment to breathe after running up the stairs. So this would be literally, they need a moment to catch their breath because they went exercising up the stairs. Now they're out of breath and they need a moment to actually be able to breathe back to the normal pace that they would normally breathe at, not that elevated pace of like, ooh, too much exercise. So Zoe says, that's a lot to deal with. I've felt the same way before. You've got tests, you've got clubs, too much. And I know that is quite a lot.
Okay, so she's been through something like this in her life before, and this is kind of good news for Luke. He says, how did you handle it? What did you do when you were feeling the way I'm feeling now? I want some advice. I want to learn from your experience. How did you handle it? Tell me what you did. I can't even think properly. So he can't breathe and he can't think properly. Of course, this just means he's under pressure. He's under stress. He feels like he just wants to like curl up in a ball on the sofa and be like, I just want to make it all go away. But of course, he can't do that. So he's looking for advice, and we're going to get some advice from Zoe. But first, we're going to get some advice from Hanny. So many good things going on from wise people.
第二段对话的小标题是 Dealing with stress， 面对压力。那 stress 这个名词就是指压力。在对话里面 ，Zoe 在关心 Luke 的状况，因为他看起来很累。Luke 解释说，他这一周有很多考试，每天还有社团活动，他觉得连喘口气的时间都没有。那听到 Zoe 以前也有类似情况，他就想知道他当时是怎么处理的。好，来看单字 breathe 这个动词，它表示呼吸、吸入、喘口气是动词。那它的名词是 breath 可以表达呼吸或是气息。Sam 老师有提到 catch one's breath， 它就可以表达喘口气、停下来，让呼吸平缓下来的意思。好，接回课文中。
All right, so we're back with Zoe, and it says, I focused on one thing at a time. Okay, so again, she notices that Luke has a lot going on. So when she was feeling like that, how she handled it was, I focused on one thing at a time. Try not to take on so many club activities for now. And that makes sense. Right now, the most important thing is all of those tests. You need to focus on the test. Take a break from the clubs. They will still be there in a little bit. There's other people in there to kind of handle what's going on. You focus on the tests.
That's very good advice. Focus on the important stuff and maybe just put the other stuff to the side for now. He says, I know you're right. So he's thinking that, like, that makes sense. And I already kind of thought of that. I know you're right, but it's hard to say no. He's kind of a responsible guy. He doesn't want to let people down. So he's got all his tests, but they're like, hey, can you help organize the party we're having at the club this weekend? He's like, oh, yeah, okay, sure. But he really doesn't want to, but he just doesn't want to disappoint the people in the club, right? He doesn't want to let them down. So it's hard to say no. Just the words no. It's hard for him to say it because he, wants to do what people want him to do. I'll have to remind myself to manage my time better. Absolutely. There are only 24 hours in the day, and if you take away the 8 that you should be sleeping, well, then there's 16 hours in the day. Then you got to wash it. Anyways, he doesn't have all the time. He has to manage his time better. In other words, give the time to the important stuff now and maybe not do the other things. Maybe he'll do them later, but not do them now because he just can't.
Yes, and so Zoe also comes up with another thing that she did to handle these types of situations, and it says, I also wrote a to-do list. I started to feel a lot better when I saw all the things I had finished. And to-do lists, I think, are very helpful to organize everything that you need to do and kind of get it out of your brain a little bit.
Yeah, it's a good way to organize your time. I was thinking he could build a robot. He could build a robot Luke, and that could go to, but this is much easier.
Yes.
Actually, the to-do list is a much better idea than building your own robot. A to-do list is a list of things to do. That's it. That's all I got for you. You'll write down the important things you need to do so that you don't forget them and you can keep them in order. You put the important stuff at the top and then you'd work your way down and the less important stuff is at the bottom. It could be simple things like go to the store, go to the bank, pay a bill, wash the dishes or whatever. Or it could be bigger things like, study for that exam or decide what university to go to next year. But these are important things and you want to make sure you do them all and you manage your time and you don't forget. So writing a list of things to do can help you stay organized. He says, did that really help? Did a to-do list really help you stay organized and feel less stress?
Well, Zoe says, yes, it works. It'll take a lot of pressure off you. Yes, and you'll probably feel less pressure if you can understand everything very perfectly, which is why we're going to go to Teacher Hanny.
Ooh, I'll write that on my to-do list. Teacher Hanny.
Zoe 分享了她以前压力大、忙不过来的经验。她说她一次只专注在一件事情上。那现在试着不要参加这么多的社团活动。她还会写这个待办清单，看到自己完成了哪些事，感觉就会好多了。那也会帮助自己减轻很多压力。好，文中她用到 take on。take on 可以表达承担、接下，像是接下工作等等。而 to do list 就是待办清单。还有用到 take something off somebody 可以表达替某人减轻，像减轻负担、压力等等。那我们直接回到课文中。
All right, so we are back and we are at the end of our day one look at these expressing emotions. And we've talked about stressful things and we've talked about happy things. And we've got more to do next time.
We absolutely do. But for now, let's review the dialogue again. And we will see you back here next time with more emotions to express. Toby excitedly tells Laura that he won a painting contest.
I won first place in the painting contest I told you about last week.
Wow, congratulations. It was the painting of the sun coming through the window, right?
Yes. I honestly never thought I'd win, but the judges really liked my painting.
I knew you could do it. It looked great even before it was finished. How long did it take you to complete it?
A month. I worked on it every night because I wanted it to be perfect.
Your effort paid off. What did you win?
I won a camera. It's really expensive, so I was lucky to win it.
Luke feels stressed due to his schedule. Zoe shares what helps her manage stress.
Are you okay, Luke? You look tired.
I have a lot of tests this week, but I still have club meetings every day. I feel like I don't have time to breathe.
That's a lot to deal with. I felt the same way before.
How do you handle it? I can't even think properly.
I focused on one thing at a time. Try not to take on so many club activities for now.
I know you're right, but it's hard to say no. I'll have to remind myself to manage my time better.
I also wrote a to-do list. I started to feel a lot better when I saw all the things I had finished.
Did that really help?
Yes, it works. It'll take a lot of pressure off you.
最后，我们来复习今天课文里的单字。第一个学到 congratulations 是名词，表示恭喜，那常常会用复数形表示。第二个学到 effort 是名词，表示努力。第三个学到 stress 也是名词，是指压力。第四个学到 breathe 这个动词，它有呼吸、吸入或者是喘口气的意思。好，那以上是今天的讲解，同学别走开，马上回来哦。
Wow, Winnie, this is such a good idea. It's such a nice day to have a picnic. And you came so prepared. I didn't even know we had this picnic mat.
Well, I figured it's been a while since we just hung out, so I thought, why not set up a picnic at a nice park and just relax?
That's very thoughtful.
I even brought a basket full of our favorite things. A food container full of some homemade sandwiches.
Homemade? You made those?
Homemade by someone else. Anyway, we also have some reusable utensils.
Ooh.
And we have some snacks, and we'll be super full.
Oh, that sounds really good, but I'm starting to get itchy. I think I'm getting bit by
Mosquitoes? Not to fret. I have some mosquito repellent right here.
Wow, you really did come prepared, Winnie.
Dig in.
Okay. Well, we had a really nice picnic today.
And a picnic is a great way to enjoy nature without having to go too far.
And it's just also a nice way to spend some time with your friends and family.
And you get to pick out whatever you want to eat.
That's true.
That's all we have for today. Remember to follow us on Instagram and send us a DM or an email if there's something you want to say in English and you just don't know how. Kiki, anything you want to say.
Remember to take your trash with you. Kiwi later.